That's his second of the series.
Oh, there was nothing better than facing Barry. Me and Barry had gotten to be friends, and so you have that that little inner competition.
He is faced, and they're walking him with the bases loaded, an intentional walk to Barry Bonds. This is flat out saying, I will not let you beat.
You had one of the all-time great quotes about Barry Bonds, about him being the easiest guy to pitch to.
Yep, 100%. He was, because if it mattered, you just walked him. I mean, it's not hard to throw 4 pitches, you know, in the right-handed batter's box.
Yeah, Leo said the same. He's like, there was a point where Bonds, you just couldn't do anything against him.
Yeah, he's locked in. I mean, offensively, one of the most incredible years ever, and you learn to beat lineups and not hitters. You know, I think with Barry Bonds was a good example of that. I think Mark McGwire's an example of that. Tony Gwynn was an example of that. Gary Sheffield, Mike Piazza. You know, there's just certain guys, you know, you got to get 27 outs, so you got to pick your fights accordingly. You know, I have to get 27 outs. I don't have to get Barry Bonds out 4 times. I just got to keep him in the park. So I think that was the main objective, say, facing somebody like him, was if I don't give a home run, I win.
We've gotten to know each other through All-Star games, and me and him and his son and my son would go over to the All-Star games like hours and hours early, and they'd be out playing. We'd be sitting and talking, and we just got to know each other. And so when we would face each other, you know, it was like a brother thing where, like, hey, I've got bragging rights. And so I remember, you know, I really got on the whole baseball scene when I struck him and Matt Williams out on 6 pitches in the Astrodome with the bases loaded to win the game. And then I'd faced him a couple more times and struck him out. And so, but there was time where we started, he knew it. There was nothing. I wasn't going to trick him. And he would stand there in the box, and I would throw a slider, and he would put his hand over his nose like it stunk. And he would tell me, he goes, "You got the worst breaking ball in the world." He goes, "Everybody knows it's coming." And it would be awesome because, you know, I wasn't offended. I was like, I agree. And so, but he was mano a mano. I remember striking him out in Houston, and it's the board said 102, and we win the game. I come in, and he calls me on the phone, and he's like wearing me out about, he goes, "You better not be throwing anything under 102 to anybody else." And I go, "Barry, you're the best hitter I've ever faced. Why would I why am I throwing my best to not the best?" I said, "I'm going to give you the best. You beat me and stuff." And it was just such a good competition. He was by far the best hitter I've ever faced. And it was not just because, but you watch the whole game, you watch his whole career. He could do things that other guys couldn't. Griffey could do those things, but Barry just had a swagger about him, and you knew that. And it didn't matter what the situation, the lights came on for him when me and him faced each other. There was never a time where we faced each other and it didn't matter. And I didn't mind. I remember Barry hollering at me one time. I was always one of the guys first out of the dugout. I love watching the other team take BP. And so I'm sitting out there, and Barry starts chirping at me, telling me I need to pay homage to his, you know, to the older crew, to the veterans and stuff like that. And, you know, and I looked at him, I said, "Well, the older guys need to get a hit off them before I start respecting them." And so it was just, you know, a give and take. And, you know, he didn't get all bent out. It was just hey, this is what I bring, and I don't hide anything. And we competed so well.
Well, I do have to say Barry Bonds hit 9 home runs off me, so. But he told me one All-Star game, we were there together, and I was rooting for him in the home run hitting competition. And he thought somehow I was rooting for McGwire, and he came over and he said, "I'm going to tell you something right now. Next time I face you, I'm going to hit a homer off of you." He said, "I'm going to do a pirouette at home plate." And I said, "All right, you can do that." I said, "But if I strike you out, I'm going to sit down on the mound." He says, "Matter of fact, Smoltz, I'm hitting 2 off you." So I forgot about it. It's September. We got the division, you know, wrapped up. We're playing in San Francisco. He hit 2 and there's nothing else I could say after that. He came on the bus looking for me, and
he came on the bus.
He came on the bus.
He's legendary right there.
"Where's Smoltz? Where is he?" And I'm trying to crouch down. He said, I told you I was going to get you."
They just let him on?
And then he goes, all right, guys, go get the ring. After he realized everyone's looking at him. I lost because of those 2 home runs.